We've been talking all about how we become better singers and how we can improve our skills. We do this through daily training, and how we build our training routine is an important part of it all. Intentional, focused practice sets you up for success and change. Variety in your training and exercises that continue to advance are also an important aspect of building a confident voice. We're going to go through the different types of exercises you should be incorporating into your weekly routine, the benefits, and why we use them. Every week, you should be covering a broad range of skills. 2 to 4 times a week, it's good to work through exercises that have you focusing on strengthening fundamental skills to singing. These are skills that are absolutely essential for you to have in order to have a well balanced voice. Essential skills to singing include breath management, agility, intonation, flexibility, strength, stamina, vocal control, dynamics, clarity, and tone. You will utilize all of these skills when you sing at one point or another, so these are skills that are important to work on in all of your range several times a week. When you sing songs, you could find yourself needing to pull on any one of these skills. So that is why 2 to 4 times a week, you want an exercise routine that is going to touch several of these skills in one session. Being able to move fluidly through them all is vital and applicable to how you will use your voice anytime you sing songs. We call these fundamental exercises in your sing text training. Training the fundamental skills in singing will include a variety of different exercises. For example, a great well rounded fundamental could look like this: lip trills or humming, single note holds on an E, crescendos on a may, fast paced arpeggios on an E to an A, and you could wrap it up with descending scales on a va. With this exercise, you will have worked on pretty much every essential skill. You want to aim to hit at least 3 to 5 of these essential skills every time you do these kinds of exercises, and they should advance every 3 to 4 weeks. 1 to 3 times a week, it's good to really focus in on one of these essential singing skills with your exercise routine. Not only will it add variety to your singing practice, but it will also give you the time to begin mastering a skill like flexibility or breath management. We call these focus sessions with SingText. These exercises should include a simple warm up and 3 to 4 exercises that challenge the specific skill you are focusing on. An example of exercises included in a flexibility focus session would be this: pufferfish slides, double slides on ah, mu to ma steps, syncopated ah, a, e, o, and oo vowels, and octave slides. And if you don't know what any of these exercises are, we guide you through all of these with SingText. Focus sessions can advance at a slower pace than fundamental exercises. The more important thing is changing up the skill you are focusing on. Choose 2 areas of focus every week, work through those exercises weekly for about 1 to 2 months, then change your focus sessions. Eventually, you will want to advance these exercises as well, but because there are so many skills you can work on as the months go by, you don't have to advance these as quickly. It's a good idea to challenge yourself from time to time and even do an intensive focus session week where you focus solely on one skill each day. Focus sessions are important to incorporate into your weekly training because a lot of refinement happens here with your skills. I think as singers, we feel the need to challenge ourselves every day to ensure we are constantly growing. But rest and recovery is something that you should also incorporate into your singing routine each week. Now, do you absolutely need a rest day or slow paced kind of day for your voice? Not necessarily, but this is so beneficial for your muscles and your brain. And having an exercise dedicated to recovery not only feels amazing for your voice, but it also helps you to incorporate more mindfulness into your singing practice. We call these vocal recovery days. These days are dedicated to slow paced exercises that focus on ease in your voice. It's sort of like doing a yoga, but for your voice. Before doing a recovery day kind of exercise, I always find it so helpful to work through some stretching of all those external muscles in the neck, shoulders, and upper back. This is great to fit into every day before you sing, but sometimes life gets so busy and we just don't have the time to do so. I love having a vocal recovery day in the week to slow things down and really focus on giving my voice and mind a little TLC. Vocal recovery days are also a great time to get in the habit of checking in on yourself. How is your voice feeling? How is it progressing? What went well in your practice and what can you improve upon in the upcoming week? A vocal recovery day should be incorporated once a week. Just as I recommended adding in a focus session week every now and then, I recommend you work through a vocal recovery week from time to time as well. I find they are especially helpful after an intensive week like a focus session week or any time that my brain just needs a breather. They are a great way to reset and recharge. Here's an example of an exercise on a vocal recovery day. Stretching. You can do an ear to shoulder hold, a chin to chest hold, and even a suprahyoid muscle massage. Then you can move into singing exercises like humming, slides on ooh, and a descending 5 note scale. Rest days are optional for your singing routine. If you are just getting started with daily singing practice, I recommend adding them in once a week for a few months. And they are also good to add in after a challenging week of training. We incorporate rest days into your training at the start of the Sing Text programming, and we also incorporate them throughout after intense weeks or at the end of focus session weeks. Rest days are another way to reset and recharge the voice, the mind, and the body. I always recommend taking the opportunity to practice vocal gratitude on these days or simply reflecting on your progress and all the hard work you have been doing for your voice. Another thing that you can incorporate into your weekly singing routine are what we like to call boost exercises. Now, these are completely optional, but a boost is a way to begin mastering a particular stylistic skill like belting or learning to harmonize. It's also a kind of exercise that could help you work on a vocal issue that you may have, like eliminating a chronic breathy tone or strengthening a weak head voice. With your day to day training through fundamental exercises, focus sessions, and vocal recovery days, you train your voice so it is well rounded and you build a strong foundation that helps you begin to work on stylistic skills or vocal faults. I recommend working through an exercise like this 3 to 5 times a week for a month. This is a kind of exercise that shouldn't take you more than 5 to 10 minutes to work through. Here's an example of what a boost exercise could look like if I wanted to improve my mixed voice. I would start with an NG humming, nay, nay, nay arpeggios, and then I'd move into an ooh to wah on a single note. You only need to work through 2 to 3 exercises that hyper focus on that stylistic skill or vocal fault. Continue incorporating the boost exercise each week for about a month. After a month, self assess. Is the skill growing? Are you struggling with it still? If you hear improvement, advance the exercises or try working on a new kind of skill or vocal fault. If you are struggling with it, stay on the same boost exercise for another 4 weeks and see where you are at after that point. It's a good idea for the kind of boost exercise you choose to work through to correlate with a skill you are trying to improve in a song that you are working on, as you're likely going to be doing this right before practicing through a song. Like I said, this is optional as your foundation is being well developed with everything that you are already doing each week in your daily vocal trainings. And you will likely already be improving vocal folds or touching on some of those stylistic skills with your daily exercises. But it's a good way to ensure you are progressing with something that you have been wanting to improve. Like I said, this is optional as your foundation is being well developed with everything that you are already doing each week in your daily vocal trainings. And you will likely already be improving vocal folds or touching on some of those stylistic skills with your daily exercises. But it's a great way to ensure you are progressing with something that you have been wanting to improve. A focused singing routine will help you grow as a vocalist and help you build confidence. With all of the exercises you incorporate weekly, I recommend working through most of your range with them. Some you may find are more beneficial for you in certain parts of your range than others, and of course, if you are solely working on your chest voice in a boost, there is only so much range you can cover with exercises for that. But your fundamental exercises and focus sessions try to cover most of your range. This will help you to easily access your range at all times and help you grow your vocal control with all of your notes. So, for example, if I wanted to do a 7 day practice routine each week, here's what that could look like. On a Monday, I'd start off with a fundamental exercise. Tuesday would be dedicated to a focus session. On Wednesday, I would repeat the same fundamental exercise or incorporate a different one. Go ahead and pick another focus session for Thursday. Friday would be another fundamental exercise day. You could do the same one all week or you could change it up. Saturday would be my vocal recovery day, and Sunday would be a rest day. If you wanted to do a boost in the week, you could add that on Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. When you do your daily training with SingTex, we guide you through all of these kinds of exercises and advance them as time goes on to help you build the confident, strong, and free voice that you have always wanted.